Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to Sunday Night Ghost Stories Extra. Extra! Because we are not only on a Friday, we are on Good Friday. Here we are in the library. It's been a busy old day today. I was up at stupid o'clock to crack on with work, but it's been absolutely brilliantly solid today. Had a little walk down the high street mid-afternoon to get some supplies. And that's been about it, really. Derpy, his derpness is down there, and he's currently looking at me as if to say, "I'm going to choose my moment to vault up your legs." And I've only got my leggings on tonight, so he's going to cause some damage if he does that. What are we reading? We are still reading the superb Haunted Places of Scotland. What a book! Absolutely brilliant. What are we drinking tonight? Well, we're on a 2-beer strategy tonight. So we have kicked off with Avon's Belgian SIPA, 3.4%. Ingredients: water, barley, wheat, oats, hops, yeast. Brewed and canned for Avon's in Belgium, imported into the UK. Imported to the UK rather by Beer 52. Doesn't say anything else other than that. Store cold, drink fresh. Well, we haven't stored it cold, or we've had it up here in the library, but I forgot to put it in the fridge, along with all the other Beer 52s. So they will be going in the fridge after the show. What are we washing that down with? The Western Gold, my new favourite, love of my life. Absolutely brilliant stuff. You coming up, Derpy? Come on. You're holding up the show. You're just sat in front of the fire. I'll just tilt the camera down. There he is. Look, there he is. Oh, the star of the show. Right, Derps. Oh, and we've got some Japanese style mix rice snacks for halftime, and we haven't even started the story yet, and already we have a dead soldier. And run, VT.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, dead soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Indeed. Right, come on, Derps. Let's crack on with the ghost stories. And we're on to Ord House. ORD, Ord. Actually, no, let's go back to the previous page. Old King's Highway, Aberdeen. Located by the Green, originally the marketplace for Aberdeen, the Old King's Highway is a public house which was originally established as a hostelry in 1741, which is almost 5:45. The building is said to be haunted. I should hope so. It's in a book of ghost stories. There are reports of objects being moved about, disembodied voices, and areas being unexpectedly cold and foreboding, as well as the alleged sightings of 2 apparitions, a man and a lady spotted near the windows at the front of the establishment. Just says public house, telephone number. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in July 2008 by East of Scotland Paranormal. Website address. Right. Now we're on to the next one. Old Manse Leg. The Old Manse, which has been demolished, was said to have been haunted by the Reverend Thomas Mackay, who had been the minister. He died peacefully in his sleep in 1803, but his apparition is alleged to have been seen in 1827 and later, and his ghost is believed to still haunt the site. Old Post Horn Inn, Crawford. I think we've jumped back 2 pages, never mind. The inn dates from 1744, but was closed some years ago and is now derelict. Sorry, the inn dates from 1744, but was closed some years ago and is now derelict. Is said to be haunted by at least 3 ghosts. That doesn't scan right anyway. One is reputed to be that of a young girl who was killed by a coach in Main Street and who was the daughter of an innkeeper. Her apparition was reputedly seen in the dining room, which was originally the stables. And the ghost is said to have moved the chairs around and to sometimes have been heard singing to itself. Another phantom is reportedly that of a coachman spotted wearing a dark cloak who is believed to have died in snow during 1805. There are also accounts of the phantom of a 5-year-old girl hanged for stealing bread. Good Lord, what was it? A reform government? Her ghost has reportedly been seen in the neighbouring countryside, as well as occasionally in the inn. Ghostly Roman legionnaires are also said to have been seen marching up the main street. However, they can only be seen from the knees up, as the level of the road in Roman times was lower than it is today. Old Rectory Guest House, Callander. Nestled under the Callander Crags in the holiday village of Callander, this Victorian villa, formerly used as an inn, is now a guest house. The building is said to be haunted by the ghost of a highwayman, which is reputedly witnessed in the kitchens, although there are no recent reports of activity. Guest house telephone number, website. Old Smugglers Inn, Auchencairn. Is it Auchencairn? Auchencairn. Auchencairn we'll go for. The old inn stands in the peaceful village of Auchencairn, but was the haunt of smugglers, being both near the coast and a convenient stopping off place on the route through Galloway. On the old route through Galloway, the town, not the contentious Scottish MP. The building is said to be haunted by a bogle, which is known as Old Gladys. Manifestations are alleged to include unexplained footsteps, electrical equipment and lights being switched on and off, and objects being moved about, including a powder compact being lifted from a handbag while on the floor. There are also reports of the sighting of an apparition in one of the rooms, and when Border Television was recording at the inn, a shadowy figure was later seen on the footage, even though nobody had noticed anything spooky at the time. The ghost is said to be displeased when anyone takes its favourite position at the fire. The inn is closed, apparently temporarily, at the time of writing. And it just says hotel temporarily closed at time of writing, telephone number. Old Swan Inn, Paisley. The Old Swan Inn is said to be haunted. And that's all it says. That's your lot, folks. Public house telephone number. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in March 2007 by Spirit Finders Scotland. Website address. Right, this is where we overshot. I meant to go back a story. I went back 2 pages, but never mind. We're getting our money's worth tonight. Old Woodhouse Lee Castle. Old Geddy Lee Castle. The old castle here, which is now very ruinous, was owned by the Hamiltons of Bothwell How and has a tragic ghost story. The story goes that one winter night, a favourite of the Regent Moray turned up at Woodhouse Lee and threw Lady Hamilton and her child out into the snow in only their nightwear. The infant died from the cold, and Lady Hamilton went mad with despair, weeping herself to death. Her sad ghost, dressed in white, was frequently reported searching through the castle and countryside for her child. At one time, her ghost is said to have been often seen on cold moonlit nights. Her bogle is usually described as a white lady, but it has also been called a green lady. Her husband, James Hamilton of Bothwell How, shot and killed Regent Moray at Linlithgow in 1570, possibly as an act of revenge for his wife and child, then fled Scotland, although another account has this Lady Hamilton alive as late as 1609, which is almost 10 minutes past 4. The castle was demolished in the late 17th century, and much of the stone was used to build Woodhouse Lee at Fulford. Also see that entry. Itself now gone. Lady Hamilton's ghost is said to have translated to this new house, but this may be a confusion over names. Just going to say, her husband, James Hamilton of Bothwell How, shot and killed Regent Moray at Linlithgow in 1570, possibly as an act of revenge for his wife and child. Possibly. I don't know about you, Derpy, but I would say pretty much a nailed-on certainty. I'm gonna shoot you. Why? Is it because I killed your wife and your daughter? I'm definitely going to kill you now. So anyway, Oran Moor, Glasgow, previously used as the Kelvinside Free and Parish Church and as a Bible Institute, the Oran Moor, Gaelic for Big Song, was built in 1862 but was converted in 2002 into a cultural centre and meeting place with a nightclub, bars, restaurants, and an event space. The minister of the church between 1868 and 1907 was Walter Ross Taylor, and a story is that his body is one of two buried in the walls of the building. Several mysterious events have taken place here, including disturbing presences being felt by staff, chairs being moved by themselves, and an office door being found open several times, despite not only being closed, but also having been locked. Cultural centre, bars, restaurant, nightclub, and private event space. Telephone number and website. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in April 2006 by Ghost Finders. Website address. April 2006, folks. Still feels like the recent past for me. 20 years ago. David Tennant started becoming, was it the 11th Doctor? Yeah, the 12th, whatever he was. 20 years ago. I just can't get that right. We're going to do quick one. Don't we all, ladies? And then we'll have a beer. So, Ord House. With 60 acres of the gardens and woodlands, the handsome, thank you, and stylish, thank you very much, Ord House dates from about 1810, but has a date stone of 1637 and may incorporate work from the 17th century. Ord was a property of the Mackenzies, but the building is now a fine hotel. The house is said to have the bogle of a lady, an apparition which has been witnessed both in corridors and sitting at the end of a bed in one of the rooms. The sounds of unexplained footsteps have also reputedly been heard. The ghost has also been blamed for removing pictures, presumably because of a dislike for them, and propping them neatly and unbroken against walls. Hotel, telephone number, website. Right. Deja vu. I'm sure I've read some of these before, but I could have read them in other books. Anyway, this mystery beer, this mystery warm beer, Avans, 3.4%, doesn't give you any backstory. So in the magnificent Rush beer glass from Kirsten and Steve in the United States, cheers me beers. Smells quite fruity. That's very nice. That's very nice. I've just suddenly realised I don't know what I've done with my can of my next can of beer, unless it's there it is on the chair. Duh. Right. Overton House. Overton House is a large baronial mansion dating from the mid-19th century and built for James White, a successful chemical manufacturer. The house stands on the site of an old castle once held by the Colquhouns. The house and some of the lands were given over to the people of Dumbarton in 1939, after which Overton was used as a maternity hospital until 1970. It is now a Christian centre for hope and healing, and the estate around the house is open to the public with formal gardens and a nature trail. The house is said to be haunted by the apparition of a woman dressed in Victorian style. There are also strange stories regarding Overton Bridge, claiming that more than 50 dogs have jumped to their deaths from the bridge in the last 50 years. Park open all year, daily website address. A paranormal investigation was undertaken in 2005. I'm sure we've read that one. What do you read, Derp? Oh no, you're quite happy down there on the floor by the fire. So I'm sure we've read these, but no, I've been a long day, folks. I was up at stupid this morning. That's a lie. I didn't. I overslept this morning, actually. 9:30 I woke up. Yeah, good Lord. That was slovenly of me. But yeah, I was straight downstairs, cracking on with work, finished a project off, which is good news. Started another one, so hope to get that one finished over the weekend. So anyway, cheers, me beers. Slange me bar. Oh, lovely. Itchy nose. O'Brien's, Glasgow. O'Brien's, formerly Graham's Bar, is a small public house. The building is said to be haunted by the spirit of a little old woman lady. Witness shrouded in a tartan shawl which hides her face, seen sitting by the fireplace. I'm sure we've read that again. Anyway, public house, telephone number. A little old woman lady. Well, either a little old woman or a little old lady. I think we can, it's a bit like saying the spirit of a little old male man. Paisley Abbey. Paisley Abbey is an impressive and evocative church dating from the 13th century with a very long and interesting history. Founded as a priory in 1163 by Walter, son of Alan, Steward of Scotland, this replaced an ancient Christian establishment dedicated to Saint Mirren, or Helen as she's known. The priory was elevated to an abbey in 1219, and the abbey church was restored in the 20th century and is used as the parish church. In the abbey is preserved the stone effigy of Marjorie, daughter of Robert the Bruce, as well as the tomb of Robert III. The Barachan cross, dating from as early as the 8th century and decorated with warriors and human figures, is also housed here. Some stories have the church haunted by the apparitions of monks. Are any of them called Harry? It doesn't say. Open all year, Monday to Saturday, telephone number, website. I am positive we've read some of these before. No. Bookmarks, unless something supernatural has been moving my bookmarks around. That's where I left it from Wednesday. So you haven't been messing around with Eddie Derp. No, he's sprawled out in front of the fire here. So, oh, Derpy, I'd love some Japanese rice-style snacks, but we're going to wait until half time. Oh, lovely. Paisley Art Institute. Opposite the University of Paisley and founded in 1876, the Paisley Art Institute is located in Paisley Art Gallery, a fine building in the style of a Greek temple, which was paid for by the famous Coates family of Paisley. They, along with other industrialists, donated many works of arts to the gallery. Many works of art. I think it should be works of art, but anyway. The building is said to be haunted. Manifestations are said to include the sound of heavy footsteps coming from an empty and locked room, as well as disembodied whispering. It is also said that very heavy clays were mysteriously moved one night, although nobody was present. It then took 3 people to return the clays to their proper place. Art Institute website. Time for another beer and a bump, Derps. What are we up to? 22 minutes. Almost halfway through the show. Slange me far. Oh, lovely. Cheers, me beers. Oh, I've just. Have we blurred the background sufficiently tonight? No, we haven't. I thought we had the blur effect on. There we go. We got the blur effect on now. Adds a bit of atmos, doesn't it? Right. Pananic Wells Hotel, Ballater. The former hotel here, a historic inn which dates from 1760, has had guests including Lord Byron and Queen Victoria, John Brown, Queen Victoria's manservant, I'm sure we've read that one already. The former hotel here, a historic inn which dates from 1760, has had guests including Lord Byron and Queen Victoria. John Brown, Queen Victoria's manservant, worked in the hotel before going on to serve the Queen. The building and the neighbouring area are said to be haunted by a grey lady. The phantom of a young and slim woman seen dressed in a grey blouse and long dark skirt, perhaps the ghost of a Victorian maid. The ghost is reported to have been seen quite often and to be friendly. Other alleged disturbances include unexplained noises such as disembodied breathing and the moving of furniture and the opening of doors when nobody is apparently present, as well as the smell of violet perfume. This latter manifestation may be from a separate ghost, said to have been witnessed in room 1. A further apparition is said to be that of a young boy, observed begging for water. Nothing, no follow-up there. He's loving this. Look. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't. There he is. Look, just there. He is absolutely loving it down there. And good luck to him. Cheers, me beers. Ah, Slange. Oh, goodness me, that Western Gold honey. It's lovely stuff. Right. Pavilion Theatre, Glasgow. The Pavilion Theatre was opened in 1904 and is housed in a plush building with a sumptuous Louis XV style interior. It is one of the few privately run and unsubsidized theatres left in Britain. The Pavilion features a varied programme of popular shows, plays and pantomimes, and many famous people have entertained here, including Harry Lauder, Sarah Bernhardt and Charlie Chaplin, then unknown. There are stories of the bogle of a woman being seen in one of the boxes and the phantom of a girl being spotted in an upper dressing room. A chair in the stalls is often alleged to be found in the down position, as if someone invisible was sitting on it. One tale is that a member of staff heard the sounds of piano coming from the main auditorium, but on investigation found the theatre was empty, dark, and unoccupied. There was also no piano in the building. The stories are completely refuted by the management, who state there is no paranormal activity here and the theatre should not be contacted about the supernatural. I'm going to ring them up tomorrow and say, is your place haunted? Because we got the telephone number here. No, we haven't got the telephone number, but we can look it up. Pavilion Theatre Group. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not an arse. Well, not that much of an arse. Can we say arse on my show, Derp? Yeah, he's nodding. Yeah, so cheers, me beers. Oh, hello, Lee. Slange. 27 minutes. Pear Tree, Edinburgh. The Pear Tree is a fine hostelry in an atmospheric building with a large walled beer garden and was built in 1747 as a private residence. This was the birthplace in 1826 of Andrew Usher, who is thought to have been the first producer of blended whiskey. His elder brother founded the Usher brewing business, and in 1896, Andrew gave money to build the famous Usher Hall on Lothian Road. The Pear Tree became a pub in 1982. The building is said to have a ghost. Really? Book about ghost stories and public house, telephone number. Right, we've got I've got some fan mail coming through on another channel here. All right, okay, we'll deal with that a bit later on. What are we up to? 28 minutes. I think we'll do. I'll do one more, and then it'll be half time. Then we can have some. We can go and get the beer, which is on the chair over there. Then we can have some Japanese rice style snacks and talk nonsense as if this hasn't been. So cheers, me beers. Slange. Right. Pierce Lodge, Glasgow. Pierce Lodge was the original gateway of the old college of the University of Glasgow, and it was moved to its present site in the 1980s, and many salvaged materials were used in the rebuilding. The lodge is reputed to be haunted. One manifestation said to be the mysterious sound of piano music. The lodge is also said to have a grey lady spotted dressed in a grey coat and hat, and reported to have been seen in 1989 when the bogle is said to have walked up to the entrance where it then vanished. The apparition was reported to be dressed in an old-fashioned style and to have had a shiny face. Nothing to add to that. Just gone through the half-hour mark. Absolutely perfect. And the beer burps at 30 minutes and 12 seconds. Goodness me. Right. Let's finish this off. Oops, a daisy. Slange. Right, I'm going to put you in a brief timeout whilst I nip round the corner and go and grab the can of beer, which I've managed to put out of reach here. So be back in a second. And we're back. Right. Lidl Rivercote Japanese style rice snacks, a Japanese style mix of seasoned rice snacks and coated peanuts. Ideal for sharing. Want some derp? No? Right, fine. I'll finish them off then. Mind you, on Wednesday night show, I pretty much polished off an entire bag of the wasabi snack mix, which is very naughty of me because they aren't exactly healthy. I mean, they're not. It's not like they're massively unhealthy. I'm just having a look at the. I'm just having a look at the traffic light system at the bottom there. As you can see, they're all amber, so they're not red. If they were green, they'd be good for you. These are amber, so they're good for you in moderation. Like I say, we were up at half past 9 this morning. Usually I am up at half past stupid of a morning, but no, I overslept last night, this morning anyway. But we were downstairs cracking on with work. What have I got planned for the weekend? Well, I'm going to do a little bit more work tomorrow because Johnny No Mates here wants to get work out of the way so he can take some time off during the week. Specifically, a 2-reg trip on the West Somerset Railway, which technically opened today. And I also need to ring around some of the local garages because I've got a warning light has come up on the binny. And I just need them to have a look at it. But thankfully, it's an amber warning light. If it was a red one, I'd be concerned. But beyond that, what I'm also hoping to do this weekend is get some plants on the go. So very good. Get some sunflowers, tomatoes, and possibly some celery. So I've got modules that I can grow them into. So I might have a bit of a session tomorrow. Depends what time I finish. Work. I'm not going to finish work. You know what I mean. Ballycastle. We'll have some of that tonight. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, so the mission statement for tomorrow is just keep busy, quite frankly. And then next week, like I say, fingers crossed. Well, Monday, I'm hoping to, Bank Holiday Monday, I'm hoping to meet up with friend Julia in Clevedon. And we might be going to Clevedon Court, National Trust. Wednesday, fingers crossed, 2-reg trip on the railway. Thursday, I'm hoping it's going to be shopping with friend Faye. And there is friend Faye. There she is. And obviously cracking on with work. But I am pretty much not ahead of the game, but we are getting things done now, which is good. Right, I've got some fan mail here. Let me just read the fan mail. Bear with. No, tell a lie. What was I up to yesterday? I can tell you what I was up to yesterday. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Because we are finally getting our railway station back. Huzzah. We used to have a railway station here in our little north part of Somerset. Then it was closed down, well, a long time ago. And then all the tracks were ripped up when redevelopment took place. But now they've decided, now they finally realized that that we need our railway back because cars aren't cutting it. So, so yesterday, me and my friend Sarah from our organisation called Wild Portishead went down to this roundabout, which is going to be demolished in the next 18 months. And we started salvaging some of the daffodils you can see there. Now, thankfully, we've got quite a long timeline to salvage these. So what we're going to do is we're going to let them die back naturally. Then we're going to dig all the bulbs up and store them and then redistribute them. How very socialist of you, I know you're saying, but no, redistribute them. So yes, so that's the roundabout which is going to be lost. But on the plus side, what that means is we get our railway back. And here are some more images from yesterday. So, so that was some of the daffs that I dug up, put them in a bucket, and there's Sarah working away, digging up more daffs. And on that, would you believe, that is not a honeybee, that is actually a mimic fly. I'll tell you exactly what it's called, actually. Bear with. It's called a mimic fly, and it does look like a honeybee, which is intentional. And the reason why they do this, I don't know. But I'm just calling up exactly the same image. Here we go. It is a common drone fly. So they do look a bit like honeybees. Just reading some. No, I can't find the bit. But anyway, yeah, you'd think it was a bee, but no, completely harmless, no stingers on them. But anyway, and that was so that was yesterday, and Sarah did also take another picture. I'm just bringing up the another picture up. There we go. There was the other picture that Sarah took, and honestly, I look like I weigh about 20 stone, but that's because I got my high-vis jacket on and everything. So that was me rescuing daffs yesterday. But the good news is there's no massive rush to rescue them now. When they said that work would start on the railway station on the 7th of April, we had visions of them demolishing the roundabout straight away. No, that's not going to be for at least another 12 to 18 months. So plenty of time. So we will rescue as many daffs as we can in the meantime. Let's have some more Japanese wasabi mix, shall we? Oh my goodness me, that is delicious. I mean, yes, the traffic light system does say not as healthy as you think it is. But you know what? It's a darn sight more healthy than chocolate, which I do love. And it's also a darn sight more healthy than smoking and vaping, which I abhor. So, our other beer tonight, which I'm just topping up the Rush beer glass here. This is from Home Bargains. It is the Lovelace Brewery, like that, Liverpool. Blackbird Extra Stout, 6.7%. Brewed under the watchful eyes of the liver birds Anyway, roasted barley, flaked malt, sorry, roasted barley, flaked oats, and a selection of dark malts are combined to create a robust dark stout with notes of coffee, rich toffee, and chocolate, finished with a lingering tannic bitterness, a special release from Love Lane. Love Lane Brewery, 62 to 64 Bridgewater Street. So a bit of a local connection, even though it's a Bridgewater with an E. Baltic Triangle, Liverpool, L1 0AY. Do you know what? I really should buy more of this because this is cheap as chips in Home Bargains. Extra stout ale ingredients: water. Ingredients: water, malted barley, oats, wheat, hopped yeast for allergens, including cereals containing gluten. See ingredients in bold. Store chilled. Serve 11 to 13 degrees Celsius. Drink fresh. Beautiful artwork there. Absolutely. We did show you the artwork for the other one, didn't we? The Belgian SIPA, Avans. That was it. It was nice artwork, but not much to say about that. Nice beer, though. Let's just top that one up. Oh, here we go. We've topped it up, and would you believe it? Oh, Dead Soldier.
Oh, it's jolly nice of you. Hello, Dead Soldier. Seen plenty of those in my time.
Sorry, I'm just sneaking another snack here. So, did we just read that one? I think we did. No, I don't think we did read that one. So, Penkate Castle. Standing in a walled garden, Penkate Castle has been the property of several families, but was held by the Lauders, painful, from 1685 until 1922. The castle, although altered and extended in later centuries, incorporates a 16th century tower house. One ghost is said to be the spectre of Alexander Hamilton. He was a beggar who was accused of witchcraft after cursing the lady of the house and her eldest daughter. They both soon died from a mysterious illness after they had thrown Hamilton off their property. He was executed in Edinburgh, and his ghost is said to have been witnessed near the castle. Another is reported to manifest itself by banging doors and moving furniture. It may be the spirit of John Cockburn, ouch, who had apparently committed or been the victim of a murder. The sounds of disembodied footsteps and the dragging of a heavy object, as if across the floor, have also apparently been heard. A four-poster bed, once slept in by Charles I, is reputedly haunted, as it often appears to have been used, some say by a manifestation of the king himself, although it has not actually been slept in. Ghostly activity was reported in the 20th century. The house was investigated in the 1920s when many unexplained noises and events were recorded, although the investigation was not as thorough or reliable as it might be today. Nothing to add to that. I'm just going to bear with, folks. Bear with. That's not how you spell it. Beer and a bump time. So, cheers, me beers. Oh, we're definitely getting more of that. Definitely getting more of that. Oh, that is lovely. Yeah, I can taste the with notes of coffee. Yep, rich toffee and chocolate. Yep, that's on the repeat list. I mean, God bless you, Aldi. I do love your coffee stout and your chocolate stout, and I will get some for the weekend, but that is pretty good. Oh, the beer burps again. Do apologise. Slange. I've forgotten where we are now. Perth Theatre. Perth Theatre is Scotland's most successful repertory theatre, established in 1935, and it is housed in a fine building of 1898, which was rebuilt after a fire in the 1920s. The theatre is reputedly haunted by a grey lady seen since the fire in 1924. Other manifestations are said to include seats being slammed. So, other manifestations are said to include seats slamming down and then springing back up. Lucky old seats, eh, fellas? One strange occurrence was when a production of Shakespeare's Macbeth was being shown at the theatre. Actors and staff reported hearing a cage door lift ascending to the third floor during performances, and the lift doors opening and footsteps as somebody got out. The lift, however, had not been used for years, and the electricity had reputedly been disconnected. Theatre telephone number, website. Don't forget, Derps, it's also Monarch Legacy of Monsters tonight, and apparently the G-Man is making an appearance, so that's good news. Oh, we are definitely getting some more of this. This is lovely. Ticks all the boxes. It tastes nice. It's quite strong, and it's cheap as well. So, Slange. Oh, lovely. Right. Pinkie House. Now part of a private school. Boo. Pinkie House is a grand mansion consisting of an L-plan tower house of the 16th century at its core, along with many alterations and extensions from later centuries. Noteworthy visitors include Charles I and Bonnie Prince Charlie. The ghost story dates from when the house was held by the Seatons. Alexander Seaton was first Earl of Dunfermline and Chancellor to James VI. He altered the house in 1613 and died here 9 years later. The house is said to be haunted by a green lady, who some have identified as Lilias Drummond, his first wife, who died in 1601 after giving Seaton 4 daughters, but no son as an heir. The manner of her demise is a matter of some debate. But Seaton did marry again only 4 months after her death. Her appearance bodes ill for the family, and she also reputedly haunts Fyvie. Also see that entry. Her ghost or another is sometimes said to be accompanied by a child claimed to be that of a lad, which does not tie in as Lilius did not have a son. There have apparently been no manifestations in recent years. School telephone number, website. What are we up to? 51 minutes, Derps. 51 minutes. Cheers, me beers. Slange me bar. I think we'll have some more of the Western Gold honey, which will mix in with the remnants of the chocolate and produce a liqueur, which is really quite tasty. So what was that? Ballycastle limited edition mini chocolate eggs. Oh, it's not bad, actually. I haven't got any Easter eggs myself, but I'll see what I can do this weekend. Right, Pitcairn House. Pitcairn, a house of about 1730, which is 5:30, Pitcairn, a house of about 1730, which was remodelled about 1740, and again in 1815, incorporates a very altered 16th century Z-plan tower house. The house stands in 120 acres of parkland and woodland. Turns page. Pitcairn was a property of the Abernethy family, but passed by marriage to the Leslies in 1312. One of the family was David Leslie, the Covenanter General. See Newark Castle, St. Monans. The family became bankrupt, and Pitcairn was eventually sold in the mid-18th century to the Cathcarts, with whose descendants it remained until the 20th century. The house is still occupied as a family home. The building is said to have a green lady. Holiday self-catering accommodation available. Telephone number, website. Oh, this is an absolutely brilliant book. If you are going to write a ghost story book, this is how you do it. So cheers, me beers. 54 minutes. Slange. Oh, lovely. Pitcairn Castle. Located in some 70 acres of parkland, Pitcairn Castle is a handsome, thank you, Z-plan tower house with a main block and projecting round towers at opposite corners. The castle dates partly from the 15th century and, although ruinous by the end of the 18th century, was restored in the following century. Charles II visited Pitcairn, and the then laird was killed at the Battle of Worcester in 1651. The castle later passed by marriage to the Lumsdens, and it is occupied by their descendants. When a robin is found in the castle, it is reputedly the harbinger of bad news and the herald of death. A robin was discovered when the laird was killed at the Battle of Worcester in 1651. A recent recorded instance was in 1978 when a robin apparently heralded the death of one of the family. Accommodation available. Up to 10 guests in castle. Houses available to let. Telephone number. Website. 56 minutes, folks. We're going to have another Japanese rice snack. I'm just going to show you this, but look. He is sprawled out in front of the fire here. I think he might have found his new favourite place. Oh, got the beer sneezes coming up. No. Pitreavie Castle. Not Donreavie Castle, Pitreavie Castle. Pitreavie Castle is an altered early 17th century U-plan tower house, which was remodelled in later centuries into a large and impressive mansion. The tower was built by the Wardlords of Balmool, who acquired the lands in 1608, and the family had a burial vault in Dunfermline Abbey. The Battle of Inverkeithing, or Pitreavie, was fought nearby in 1651. A Cromwellian force routed a royalist army, mostly made up of Highlanders, with the loss of 1,600 killed and 1,200 taken prisoner. A party of the Macleans, many of them wounded, sought refuge in the castle, but were dispersed by missiles cast from the battlement. The Macleans are said to have cursed the Wardlords. The Macleans are said to have cursed the Wardlaws for their poor treatment. The Laird of Pitreavie died 18 months later, and the family had lost the property within. The Laird of Pitreavie died 18 months later, and the family had lost the property within some 50 years. Ghost stories apparently date from this event. The building reputedly has both a green lady and a grey lady, while the phantom of a headless Highlander was reported in the vicinity of the castle. The apparitions of the ladies were most often witnessed in the wee hours of the night. The property was sold in 1703, and by the mid-19th century, Pitreavie was empty and abandoned. Restored, remodelled and enlarged in 1885 by the Beveridge family, it was later owned by the Royal Navy and then by the Royal Air Force, but was put up for sale when the base was closed. The castle has been converted into 6 luxury apartments. Quelle surprise. Manifestations were reported from when the building was in use by the RAF, including a WAAF, Women's Auxiliary Air Force, being pushed downstairs by an invisible force. Oh, the beer burp. Still apologise. Let's try it again. I do apologise. Manifestations were reported from when the building was in use by the Royal Air Force, including a Women's Auxiliary Air Force, a WAAF, being pushed downstairs by an invisible force, a cleaner being grabbed by the shoulder, although nobody else was present, and phone calls being received from a room which was known to be empty. There are also tales of the apparition of a WAAF being seen. Just having a look. PQ. Right. Oranmore. Oh, well, we'll do the pictures here. We've gone through the hour mark. So there is Oranmore. And the next one is Preston Tower. Oh no, we haven't got there yet. So Oranmore, Glasgow. There it is there, just there. We can have that one, but the other ones we haven't even got to yet. So I think it's going to be Japanese rice-style mixed snacks again, Derps. Bear with, folks. Oh, we've got some more snacks here. We've got well and truly crunchy, spicy and nicey. I did go back and watch watch some fragments of one of the shows the other night just to make sure everything was working fine. I was horrified at how loud these crunches are when they're picked up by the microphone here. So (1 hour and 2 minutes). Pittenweem Tollbooth Tower. The old Tollbooth Tower is a strong and squat building, surmounted by a balustraded wall walk and a hexagonal steeple, which was added about 1630, which is 4:30. The tower rises 5 stories and dates from the 16th century and is built on part of the site of a Pittenweem priory. The ground floor is vaulted and has no connection with the upper floors, and the tower is adjacent to the parish church. The tower is believed to have been used as a prison and for incarcerating those accused of witchcraft. Janet Corfat Cornwood was one of those accused of witchcraft in 1704 after a local man complained that he had been made ill and went on to denounce his neighbours. Janet had been implicated by the confession of another accused person, but she managed to escape from her prison in the tower and fled to Pittenweem and reached Lucas near St Andrews. Here, however, she was apprehended and she was sent back to Pittenweem and imprisoned. The poor woman was then dragged from the tower by a mob and taken down to the beach, was tied up and then beaten with stones and stakes to make her confess. When she refused, a door was placed over her and stones and rocks piled on top. She would still not confess. So this was repeated, and then a horse and sledge were ridden over her until she was crushed to death. This appalling but utterly illegal, this appalling act was utterly illegal, although the Privy Council ordered all those involved to be brought to the toll booth in Edinburgh. Nobody was subsequently prosecuted. Thomas Brown, another of those accused, died in captivity, reputedly from starvation, while a further accused was banished from the parish. It should be said that even at the time, these evil acts were widely condemned, and it should be said that even at the time, these evil acts were widely condemned, and it was one of the events that soon saw a change in the witchcraft law. Since the tower has been open for tours, there have been a series of reported spooky manifestations, including unexplained voices, the sounds of a fight going on in an upper floor when a subsequent search revealed nobody there, witnessed by more than half. There you go. Been a long day, folks. Since the tower has been open for tours, there have been a series of reported spooky manifestations, including unexplained voices, the sounds of a fight going on in an upper floor when a subsequent search revealed nobody there, witnessed by more than a dozen visitors, and sightings of an apparition of a man in a black gown as well as a large ball of red light. One visitor said that she felt as if she had been stabbed by a pole and tortured. Nothing to add to that. And I think when she says she's been stabbed by a pole, I think she means an object rather than a nationality. Right, last for tonight, Derps. No, last dirt for tonight. We're going to have some more of this Japanese mix. He's down it up. There he is. He's loving it. In the magnificent United Federation of Planet Shot Glass, again, thank you, viewers, Kirsten and Steve in the United States. Slange Art. I think we'll do more tonight. So, Pittodrie House, set in 200 acres in the foothills of the impressive and foreboding hills of Benaki. Pittodrie House, set in 200 acres in the foothills of the impressive and foreboding hill of Benaki. Pittodrie House was once a property of the Erskines and incorporates an old tower house. The building was extended in later centuries, including after it had become a hotel. A chamber which was formerly used as a nursery is said to be haunted. The story going that a servant had died after falling down a stair during a fire. Other manifestations are reputed to include unexplained footsteps, cries and screams, and the smell of burning, all centered on the old stair. Indeed, one story has the apparition of a flame-haired servant lass throwing itself down the staircase once a year, reported to be on Halloween. Although it is not clear from the story whether it is the hair which is aflame or whether the bogle has red hair. There are also reports of an apparition being seen in the library. Oh, I do hope not, Reg. Another tale is that a phantom carriage with a single horse has been seen riding along the driveway. Hotel, telephone number, website. I think this is going to be the last for tonight. Derps is fascinated by that fire. Look at him, look. He's going to be really mad with me when I go downstairs and turn the fire off. So, last for tonight. Cheers, me beers. Sludge. Oh, lovely. Place of Bon Hill. Place of Bon Hill was described as a mysterious old house, and the building incorporated an ancient castle into the later mansion. The whole building was demolished in 1950 and is the site. The whole building was demolished in 1950, and the site is occupied by Vale of Leven School. The property was originally held by the Lennox family, but Bon Hill passed to the Lindsays in the 15th century, then to the Smollets around 200 years later. Oh, the beer burp. Still apologise again, folks. One story is that a tunnel led down from a hidden One story is that a tunnel led down from a hidden entrance behind the drawing room fireplace, and it was believed to go to the banks of the River Leven, but nobody has used it for as long as anyone could remember. In 1785, a piper was sent to explore the passage, but he vanished without a trace. Afterwards, it was said faint phantom pipe music was often heard from within the walls. Nothing to add to that one as well. But oh my goodness me, we have heard that story so many times when we've, not only in this book, but other books that we've read. So, right, last for tonight. Cheers, me beers. Oh, delicious. Slange me bar. Oh. Oops, and daisy. What's that fallen over? Oh, it's a book. That's it for tonight, folks. Fingers crossed. We'll be back for Sunday. We'll be back on Sunday for Sunday Night Ghost Stories, the original, the one and only original. But until then, it behoves me to say thank you for watching. Why? Why not? What else are you going to do on a Good Friday than watch a confused man from Dudley, drink ghost stories, and read alcohol? 1,000,001 better things you could be doing, but I'm not going to castigate you for it. So thank you for your support. We'll hopefully see you Sunday. So until then, as always, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please don't have nightmares. Good night.